In the rich tapestry of spirituality, symbols like the staff resonate deeply. A shepherd's staff embodies guidance, echoing Psalm 23:4, where it offers comfort amidst darkness. Meanwhile, the open palm signifies blessings and the readiness to receive divine grace, symbolizing a connection with God. The fishhook portrays divine justice and the transformation one experiences when surrendered to God's truth. Lastly, the door stands as a spiritual gateway, revealing new paths of salvation. This request seems to be looking for connections between a series of symbolic phrases and specific concepts, likely within a religious or spiritual context. Many of these terms are heavily rooted in Abrahamic traditions, particularly Christianity and Judaism. The staff or goad. The staff or goad is a recurring symbol throughout the Bible, most notably associated with a shepherd. Teaching and authority. The staff is a tool of guidance and correction, as a shepherd uses it to direct and protect the flock. This is directly referenced in Psalm 23:4. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. The rod and staff here symbolize God's protective and guiding authority, spiritual journey, and higher level. In a symbolic sense, the staff represents the support and guidance needed to navigate one's spiritual journey. It aids in climbing difficult paths and represents the authority granted to a leader. Moses, for example, used his staff to perform miracles, symbolizing divine authority and guidance on the Israelites' journey out of Egypt. The open palm. The open palm is a gesture with several spiritual meanings. Blessing. The laying on of hands in the New Testament, Jesus offers a common gesture of blessing and imparting the Holy Spirit. Fulfillment and completion. An open hand also symbolizes giving and receiving in a state of grace. It represents a surrender to God's will and a readiness to receive His blessings, which brings a sense of fulfillment and completion in one's faith journey. The hand of God at work is a phrase that symbolizes divine intervention. It signifies God's direct involvement in human affairs and the unfolding of His plan. The fishhook. The fishhook is a less common symbol but has a specific and powerful meaning: righteousness and justice. The most direct reference is from the prophetic books. Ezekiel 29:4 and Ezekiel 38:4. The idea is the imagery of God putting hooks in the jaws of enemies, symbolizing divine justice and control over nations and leaders. Humbled and hooked to God. The concept of being hooked to God can be interpreted as a person being caught or humbled by God's truth, leading to a profound transformation. The prophet Amos speaks of Israel being led away with hooks, Amos 4:2, which can be seen as God's way of bringing His people back into redirection towards righteousness. The door. The door is a very powerful and multi-layered metaphor. In spiritual terms, it represents the access to a new state or experience. Entering a new spiritual level. If anyone enters by me, Jesus identifies Himself as the door in John 10:9. I am the door. Here the door is the means of salvation and the path to a relationship with God, representing a transition from a worldly existence. The eye of a needle is a famous metaphor. Holiness and divine nature. This symbol represents the incredible difficulty of achieving a certain spiritual state while being weighed down by worldly concerns. Jesus uses this metaphor in Matthew 19:24. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. This highlights the challenge of true humility and detachment from material possessions, which are seen as barriers to holiness. The phrase "the back of the head" and a letter that connects the spiritual and physical realms are not standard symbols. This may be a reference to a specific theology, Kabbalistic or other esoteric tradition. For instance, in Kabbalah, Hebrew letters are seen as the building blocks of creation, connecting the divine and physical. The back of the head might refer to a deeper, more hidden aspect of knowledge or being, but these are speculative connections outside of direct biblical reference.